Hi everyone, welcome to CMO Chats. My name is Isaac Lai and I'm the head of marketing at ThreeTrader Global.
Well, Isaac, can you please tell us what your company does?
Yeah, of course. ThreeTrader is an offshore foreign exchange, short being Forex trading brokerage firm. The business was founded in 2021, focusing on high value and creating an advantageous environment for veteran and novice traders. We believe that traders should be able to access the market faster and easier, and that's our company motto, and that's what we stick to.
So, when we look at your role as the head of marketing, what is currently your main marketing focus?
Yeah, though we've been around for a little bit, there's still quite a lot of work to be done in terms of laying out foundations and getting the basics right. In saying that, we've been working on some campaigns as well. We've recently launched in South Korea, as well as done some promotional campaigns in Japan. So we're simultaneously working on building for the short and long term.
Well, congratulations on those recently launched initiatives. Speaking of launching these things, can you tell me more about a particularly innovative or successful marketing campaign your team has recently executed? Like, if you want to go in further detail to what you shared already.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from. So it's tough. It's like picking your favorite child. But I think for the purpose of this, we'll focus on our launch in South Korea, which is a huge milestone for the company. We have clients all around the world, but we wanted to make a concerted effort to increase our presence in South Korea, considering the geographic proximity to Japan, which is our mainland and headquarters. So when launching in South Korea, we launched an awareness campaign across all of the usual digital channels in terms of social, Naver, display. And on top of that, we collaborated with several prominent finance creators and influencers across their native platforms as well to help boost consideration. So we launched into the market knowing that no one knows who we are in a new country. So we put quite a lot of effort into the awareness campaign. But even though people were starting to learn about us and learn about the company, there was still a level of research and education required, which is why we collaborated with all these creators across long form blogs, across social, across YouTube. And yeah, it's early days, just over a month now, but our internal data is showing that we're trending in the right direction.
That's good to hear. I mean, there's really that type of risk that you have to just take the first jump, and then connecting to other like-minded peers are obviously essential for expanding this growth that you set for yourself. Now, I know this sounds really great, and I also want to ask more about maybe the biggest marketing challenge that you have at the moment.
For me, it's hiring and cultivating culture. I'm sure you get a lot of different answers from other CMOs and different heads of marketing. But for me, people have and always will be the most important part of your company, as they are not only your advocates, but they also execute according to the strategy, and they're the heartbeat and the pulse of the brand as well. So since day one, and just a caveat, I haven't been at ThreeTrader super long, but since day one, I've been trying to find more superstars to add to this collective that is growing quite rapidly as we expand into markets, as we try more initiatives. And regardless of what we do, I would say that bringing people in, ensuring that they fit the culture and build upon the positivity that we've been able to cultivate is the most important thing, and also the biggest challenge, because when you add good people, whether it's skill sets or personalities, you see like a little bit of incremental improvement, but it's so easy for all of that to be taken away with one wrong hire, or not treating onboarding properly, or not paying attention to complementary additions.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all actually. Putting people first is actually one of the biggest things that like companies should be focusing on, because without the people, you don't really have much of the company, right? So with that, I wanted to know, how does your company stay ahead of its competitors in terms of marketing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Before joining ThreeTrader, I was a novice to the Forex and trading industry. I've worked in finance and banking before, but something that I knew from my finance experience is that people in that industry tend to blend together. They all start to sort of look very similar and speak similarly, model themselves similarly, and position themselves in the same way. So I think in order to stay ahead of your competitors, specifically for the industry that I'm in, but in general, is by being distinctive, because that melding happens sometimes intentionally because you want to sort of latch on to the positivity that maybe the market leader has established, but it also sort of happens unintentionally as well. Distinction will always win out in the end and keep you ahead of the competition. And from a third trader perspective, we have some stuff coming down the pipeline that will hopefully differentiate us even further from a very congested space in the fintech industry.
I love that word, distinction. when we look at the broader picture here, I want to get your opinion on what does the future of marketing look like?
Another great question, Sabrina. My crystal ball probably needs a little bit of polishing because it's really hard to predict this type of thing. I don't know definitively. And I think anyone that says they do is either from the future or potentially lying a little bit. But I'm leaning towards it being even more monocolored due to people favoring efficiency over creativity. A big contributing factor to that is probably generative AI. I love generative AI for the record because it allows us to lessen the amount of time we spend on labor intensive tasks. But the problem is that a lot of individuals, agencies, and brands as well are using it for everything with lazy prompts sometimes. And this murky merger of the mundane will sort of increase as everyone uses first drafts as their final products. However, and tying it back to distinction, this does give the opportunity to more human and creative centric brands to sort of separate themselves a little bit. Because if everyone is using ChatGPT and if everyone is using AI tools that come with their software suites, putting in that little bit of extra effort or adding that human touch to it will allow you to separate yourself from the pack.
I totally agree with you because I can see how, just being able to use it smartly would be able to lead you to like better outcomes. Again, in terms of efficiency, as you said. And when we look at the role of a marketing leader, that actually shapes the way that you see it, the way that you use it. It's very important. So my favorite question for this particular CMO chats is, what
Yeah.
is the role of the head of marketing in one word, and why?
I would say it's advocacy. And the reason I say advocacy is you need to advocate for your brand, your processes, and your people. It starts and ends with you. If you don't get fired up about what your company does, what it can do, or what the team that you've assembled brings to the table, what are you doing and why are you here? So I think you genuinely need to advocate for all those factors and be a cheerleader, be a coach, empower, and really advocate for it. Because if you don't believe in it, if you're not super proud of the accomplishments of the team, of the collective, then expecting clients to feel positively about it is a bit of a stretch.
I love how the concept of it all starts with you, because you are a person reflecting maybe, let's say, like the values that you uphold or even the company that you represent. What career advice would you like to share to other marketing leaders?
Where my head is at with this is be the mentor and leader that you wanted when you were on the come up and the ascent, whether it's mimicking the mentors that had the most profound influence on you when you were a student in college, or maybe a fresh graduate, or just starting out your career, or the flip side of that, reverse engineering your worst boss and making sure you avoid those mistakes and give opportunities to your juniors and the people on the come up that you wish you had. I'm very grateful to have had so many positive influences and people in my career. So I try to give back as much as possible and encourage others in my position to do the same.